Welcome to the Paycom Center here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the site of a Game 5 loss for your Indiana Pacers, 120-109 to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and now OKC just one win away from an NBA championship. A lot of the struggles from Games 1 and 2 surfacing here in Game 5 for the Pacers. Eli, it was close there in the second half, but much of this game not great from the Pacers. Your takeaways?
Yeah, that first half was brutal to watch. I couldn't really think of one like positive thing that really came out of it. It was, I think we've seen a couple times, specifically in Game 1, where the Pacers felt like they were being sped up the entire time offensively.
Yes.
That was, without a doubt, what was happening in the first half. We'll get to the second half soon. In this game, the forced turnovers, the Thunder just rushing back as quickly as they can. It felt like, I guess the Pacers couldn't weather the thunderstorm, so to speak. That's terrible, terrible. But yeah, so it's felt like they were still within reach there at the end of the first half, but I just didn't really feel a lot, and I think that was big. I don't know how much of that leaked in from Game 4 from what happened there.
Yeah, 11 turnovers for the Pacers in the first half, 23 on the game, 32 points off those turnovers for OKC. We got to talk about Tyrese Halliburton. 0 points in that first half, just 4 on the game, all of which coming from the free throw line. Went into the locker room. A lower right leg tightness was the termination there. Didn't look like himself, wasn't assertive. I mean, how many times, Eli, have we said the Pacers are at their best when he's aggressive, when he's facilitating, and this is the biggest game of your season. And I don't know if he came in not feeling well, maybe some pain there, but went to the locker room, came back in the game, but just it wasn't good tonight.
Yeah, and you can tell like when he was, because he is trying to be an aggressor, but like when you looked at that right leg, it just didn't seem natural when you try to plant on something. I know like playing high school stuff, like it doesn't really relate to professional stuff, but you can tell when someone doesn't feel right on that. And when there's shots that usually he might take inside the lane, he did not. He still had some good vision from time to time, but yeah, if you're not making any field goals in this game, you're kind of doomed from the start. But then you put in the bench again, guys like T.J. McConnell and Obi Toppin and Pascal Siakam did his thing in the fourth quarter. But yeah, Tyrese, no dice.
No, not at all. Down by as many as 18 points in this game were the Pacers. They went into the half down 14. All right, some positives here. Like you said, the bench, 42 points. T.J. McConnell willing this team back in the game in the third quarter. Had 13 points in that quarter, ended with 18 on the game. Went into the third quarter, down just 8. They got it down to 2, Eli, with 8.5 to go in this game. The Thunder turn around, 18-6 run, and I mean, that was all she wrote at that point. I mean, but they were right there again.
Yeah, they were, and then it was Jalen Williams.
Oh, my goodness.
Geez, 40 points, SGA with 31 and 10 assists as opposed to 0 in Game 4, but it was those two that were they know that they have to be those guys to make those decisions and those shots to put this team away, because they've been on the wrong side of these things where they've seen the Pacers come back into it, and they just clamp down at the end.
That's what the MVP does, SGA and Jalen Williams. My goodness, respect to that young man. Was not familiar with his game. My gosh, 71 points between those two. Despite how poorly they played, the Pacers were in this game until they weren't. And now it's a 3-2 series advantage for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse for Game 6. Obviously, disappointment out of the Pacers. Their first time losing back-to-back games since March. Take a listen.
How confident do you feel about heading back to Indy, Game 6 in your house?
We're going to need the crowd back in Game 6. We need to rock them. It's the last game at Cambridge, so we're going to have to go out and win that last game at Cambridge.
Obviously, they were able to turn a lot of turnovers into points. What did they kind of do to blow some of your stuff up? And obviously, that's what they're good at. But I mean, what did they kind of do?
Play with a lot of pressure at home. That's something we're going to have to do a lot better at. Weather that storm.
What did you feel about the slow start was impeding you guys early?
Just the pressure turnovers. Can't have that many turnovers in a half again.
Obviously, that shade creates a lot of gravity when he gets downhill. It seemed like they was able to create a lot of open threes that way. Just what led to some of those kind of clean ones for them?
Just defensive mishaps, not miscommunications, not being in our coverage properly.
What can you do better against J-Dub?
Being in our coverage properly.
What was was there any rallying cry when you guys walked in and said anything to each other?
You're talking about between us?
When you came in the locker room.
Oh, yeah, we all had our words. We understand the moment, we understand the position that we put ourselves in, and we understand how we have to dig ourselves out of it.
You guys have talked all series about how this is going to be a 20-day series, not just one game. How do you kind of approach the next game, knowing that you knew it was going to be a long series?
Looks like it's going to be a 20-game series. Yep.
All good. Thank you.
Oh, did you know it was going to be a tall task winning here? What made it so difficult down the stretch to complete that comeback?
We just wasn't playing our basketball. We came out slow, and it just, when we came out like that, we just couldn't find our rhythm. So
You guys have talked all series about this is going to be a 20-day series, a long
sure.
series. How do you approach this game 6 back at home?
yeah, we back at home. We got our fans in there. Got some good energy. So just gotta go there, learn from this game, and get better.
Obi, what got you back in it? Down 18, you got within 2, and you were close.
Yeah. We always staying resilient. We never want to be play from behind, but we just need to come out better. Come out and with a lot more energy and just play good defense.
And the turnovers got you in the end.
Yeah. We had like 23 turnovers, I think it was. So definitely got to bring that down.
Okay, what were you thinking during the third quarter, watching what TJ could do in that quarter?
TJ?
TJ.
Yeah, TJ was phenomenal. He went out there. He's a dog. Everybody knows who TJ is. He's going to go out there and give 110 every time he steps on that floor. So nobody was surprised by that.
Tyrese has obviously been one of your engines.
Yeah.
How's he doing with what appears to be dealing with some calf issues?
Something they're going to figure out. He's going to be all right, though. He's a soldier, so.
Obi, how important will the energy be in that building for Game 6 so you guys do have that fast start?
Say it again?
How important will that energy be in the building in Game 6 so that you guys do have that fast start?
Super important. We feel the love and the energy from the fans every time we step in that arena, so can't wait to get back in front of them.
Thanks, guys. You guys can control. What do you need to fix in that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we picked up our dribble a little early in a lot of those situations, and just let them get up in us and deny and put us in tough positions.
It's the first time I think all playoffs I've seen you guys getting sped up by a defense. Did you feel that way, and what can you do about it?
Yeah, I think the picking up the ball really makes it look like it's sped up because now there's no release really. So yeah, just got to be better with that, and just in general, be strong with the ball.
You guys had a big third quarter to get close. What'd you see out of TJ and the way he kind of sparked that run for you guys?
Yeah, great energy. Both sides of the floor, he was aggressive, got in the paint, created problems, made shots.
Is it a different feeling heading back home, knowing that you're going to have your fans behind you, but it's a do-or-die situation?
It's exciting, Our fans are great, and we had a great environment in there the last 2 games, and this is the position we're in now, so we're going to leave it all out there for sure.
First time you guys have lost 2 in a row in over 3 months now. It's just kind of a weird feeling that you guys have.
No.
Fight back though, through all the turnovers and the extra possessions we gave them. Showed a lot of fight, but no moral victories. We got to go out and protect home court.
Take me to your third quarter. You were really feeling it. When you get in that groove, you just want to keep shooting. Is that the point?
I mean, I found a rhythm, and my teammates kept finding me, so I got to give credit to them. Just trying to put some energy in the game, like I always do, and get us jump started.
What do you think kind of opened up the offense for you guys in the third quarter compared to just how things were going in the first half?
I think just a relentless will to get downhill and move the ball and get it side to side. I think we played a little slow in the first half, and we were getting the ball up the court and just getting it moving.
TJ, what's the message to this group? Obviously, you guys now know what you have to do.
Protect home court. It's really that simple.
Obviously a displeased group were the Indiana Pacers after Game 5. Again, 120-109, your final from the Paycom Center. Joining Eli and myself now, Tony East of Locked On Pacers. Tony, I don't know really where to start in this one. We'll start with the bad. 23 turnovers for the Pacers, 32 points off those turnovers for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Stark contrast from games 3 and 4 here to Game 5.
Yeah, just a million little things that went wrong in a big way for the Pacers tonight, and those things went as wrong as they could, as little things, the turnovers being the face of it. And I don't know if this is just how it feels watching a game like this, but it felt like all 23 of them were right after a little push where they cut it closer and then a momentum-shifting play, or, they cut it to 2, drastic turnover, Thunder get it to 7, they had to take a timeout. All of those were just crushing in terms of both the scoreboard and the momentum of the game. And, yeah, that's what the Thunder do. They're a very good team at forcing you to turn the ball over, even even if, as you guys have heard all series, the Pacers say we can't turn it over like that. They still do because the Thunder are very good at it, but they can't even get close to that high if they want a chance. Game 1 was a miracle that they stole that. That cost them so much today. When you're down that much in the possession battle against a good team, you're sinking yourself.
Yeah, and we kind of brought up games 3 and 4 where they sort of bottled up some of those turnovers that they were making. I think the first thing that I noticed, especially I guess just in the first quarter, if we're going to microscope some things, is how fast it seemed like the Pacers were trying to play, but the defense just wouldn't allow them to do so. I mean, Pascal Siakam had like 3, almost 4 turnovers, just trying to be aggressive, but he can't. Did you feel like there was like a sense of urgency, at like maybe too much of an urgency offensively?
100%. I asked a lot of guys about that post game. It felt like this was the first time I think all playoffs the Pacers were playing too fast. Like they got sped up by the Thunder in a way that the Thunder were trying to slow them down, and they tried to push back and say, no, you see Rick Carlisle on the bench all the time, speed up, speed up, speed up. But they forced it too much to the point that they were sloppy or tight. One or the other to start the game. I've never seen them get sped up like that, and it led to the Butterfinger plays that you're talking about, the ball flying all over the gym. And I understand their urgency. I understand why they want to speed up. That's when they're at their best. But you can't force it, and you saw exactly why you can't play like that. It takes you out of your rhythm. It takes you out of who you are. They were down early, and if they don't fall into that deficit, they don't need to cut it to 2 in the fourth quarter, right? It would have been a much different game. So I agree that OKC, for the first time, maybe the whole season, sped up the Pacers. It's hard to do that.
It certainly is. We got to talk about Tyrese Halliburton, all right? 0 field goals in this basketball game, 4 points, all of which from the charity stripe. I don't know what to say. I mean, he went to the locker room with a lower right leg injury, tightness, I think the Pacers said, or at least they told you. And what do you make of him? Because I don't know coming into this game if he was battling some stuff. I mean, nobody's 100% at this point, but it wasn't the performance from your star you needed in this game to take a 3-2 series lead.
Especially in this building after game 2, he's limping a bit. He's been doing treatment before and after games. We see the feet in the ice buckets. It's clearly something for him. He's got the tape, whatever that does, on the back of his legs at these practices that we can see, right? Who knows what the extent of how much it's bothering him is. I would say today is the first time in game that I noticed any sort of limp. And obviously, as you shared during the game, he went back to the locker room and had to come back in. And yeah, the tightness in the calf, it's been revealed now, is certainly a part of this, right? This is the first game I felt like he was basically just a decoy a lot of the time, chilling in the corner as other players initiated in one way or another. And that's a valuable decoy. Lou Dort's still all over him most of the time, but the offense was just not nearly as good in those moments with him on the floor. And some of that's that T.J. McConnell was brilliant, and some of that's that Tyrese Halliburton was not. And if he can't do more than that, look, we've seen Andrew Nembhard have brilliant playoff games like last year against Boston, but they're going to be in a lot of trouble scoring, and they've never won a game when they haven't hit 110 in this playoffs. Today barely continued that streak. They're going to need to find other ways to score unless he can get healthier.
So we were kind of talking about this too, is we know he wants to be out there battling, doesn't want to sit, but does it get to a point to where, hey man, like we have something we're trying to strive for here, let some of us kind of take the pressure off of you. Does that even come into your mind at all? I don't want to be like one of these, talking head talk show things, but it's just a question that's just lingering of, do you want him to sit a little bit more so you can get Nembhard, McConnell out there more to kind of keep the pace going a little bit?
It's really hard to say because of what we just said. The decoy part of it does matter, right? He will be guarded. He will never. He's a good catch and shoot player in a way that he will be defended when he's on the floor. But clearly, he's not an initiator, and that's where he's at his best. And in the first half, nobody else was good at that. But in the third quarter, T.J. McConnell was the best initiator the Pacers have had. Honestly, maybe the whole series, right? That was brilliant. Right after he got called for a foul he hated, he just went crazy and relieved some Pacers pressure. So especially if they have other options, I think you have to try. I mean, he should play, right? If he's asking to play, he should play. But there has to be a talk of what the specific role should be. Look, he's a great player. Tyrese Halliburton's excellent. If he wants to play, you have to let him and try on this stage specifically. If he gets hurt, it's the finals, right? That's it. But if he's not Tyrese Halliburton, is that actually the best thing for the team? That's the thing you have to get through to him if he's not better than he was today.
Not a lot of positives coming out of Game 5 here in Oklahoma City. It's the first time Pacers lose back-to-back games since March. It's in the NBA Finals. They're leaving everything out there, but, man, is OKC good. I mean, that's something that's certainly come to the forefront here. Jalen Williams, SGA, 71 points combined. The Thunder get it done here in Game 5. 3-2 series lead heading back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We'll see if the Pacers can extend this series to 7 in Game 6 on Thursday. For Eli Gain, Tony East, I'm Dominic Miranda. We'll see you next time.